Good morning everyone. Welcome to a new session today for the IBPS pure prelims, and we are today again continuing with the very important topic of coding and decoding. So in every class I discuss with you the different types of questions that can come so that we can understand the topic in detail and know all its variations, right. So you should always keep a note of all the topics, what are the different types of techniques, right. So in the previous class what did I discuss? The method of coding words using the positional value of letters, and today we are going to look at a very different way of coding questions, a new method, a new type of question and a new approach. So we will be looking at coding by using analogy and letter swapping. First I will be looking at the coding by swapping, and then we will move on to coding by analogy, a very different way, a unique way of coding words. Now before that, first let us look at the question that most students got wrong in the contest in the CPP yesterday, right. So in the class practice pack there are some questions that most students have got wrong. So let us just look at that question. So here is the question on the screen. In a certain language a routine is coded as VMRGFLI. How will cruelty be coded in that language? Now based on what I discussed in the class, so this coding, this question was based on the concept that I had discussed. Mainly the concept that is used here is the concept of opposite letters. So in 2-3 questions I have used this technique yesterday also and in the previous session on Monday. So you see here every letter of the word routine starting with R. So we take R's positional value is 18, we subtract from 27. Remember, when you are subtracting from 27 the positional value of letter, what you are actually getting is the opposite letter. You can refer to the table of opposite letters that I gave yesterday. We start from A, B, C, go up to M and then write reverse N to Z and we get pair of opposite letters. So using that we have done. So here O is opposite letter is L, again we are subtracting from 27, same thing with U, F, T, G, I and R and so on. For each letter we are subtracting from 27. The value we get, we take that letter as the opposite letter. Same thing with E, here the opposite letter is V, right, and the routine then becomes I, L, F, G, R, M, V. So reversing that we get V, M, R, G, F, L, I. Here that is the answer for this word routine. So what we do, first we select the opposite letters and then we reverse them. Same thing we do with cruelty. Take the opposite letters, reverse, you get this code, reverse this code, you get the answer BGOVFIX. So very important to understand what is the type of question, what concept could be used. So that is why practice is so important. Keep practicing, understanding all varieties. Through our sessions what we do is we cover every possible way of asking a question from a particular topic. You just have to make sure that you have the topic with you and you understand how to present, how to solve the question and what is the best way of solving the question. So practice every question. Once you have done the video, note down the question, number them and keep practicing them, so that once you revise the questions discussed in the class, and also very important, the questions that you have in the class practice packs give you more variety and higher difficulty level of questions than what we discuss in the videos, right. So to prepare you for the toughest level. So everyone, let us get started for the session now. So we have discussed the question from the previous day and the next slide we will discuss what are we going to do today, what will be the agenda for today. So today's goal, as I have already told you, is to discuss two types of questions, analogy and letter swapping, right. Both of these can be easy as well as difficult, so we will look at all possibilities, all levels of difficulty. I will be first starting with the concept of swapping and then we will see the method of analogy and how can we make simple as well as complex questions from this topic. Observing the questions will make you understand the complexity and the way those who set question papers, how do they think and what are they doing, and that will give you an insight into the kind of questions that come in the exam, right. So not just understand the question, focus a lot on the approach that is used in the question, okay. So let us start now with the first example for coding by swapping, a very simple one. So all of you in the beginning of the class itself will solve this question quickly and get set for the class today, right? Okay. So here this word minor is there, M-I-N-O-R. If minor is coded as I-M-O-N-R, how will sixth be coded? Answer options are there. So yes, let us solve this quickly. It is a very simple question. What will be the answer? You can post the answer in the comment section, and it is a very simple question, so you should be able to solve this within no time. So here we have the word minor, very simple, scrambling the letters, that is all we are doing here, M-I-N-O-R, minor. So we have here I, M, O, N and R. So you see, R remains in its position, whereas the other letters are simply swapped. That is what we mean by swapping letters. We are not shifting the letters forward. If you see the first session of coding and decoding that I did on Monday, we were shifting the letters forward or backward by some number of positions, right? In the second session that I did on Tuesday, we were using the positional value of letter, and then we had a substitution method of coding the words. Now here it is very simple, it is just simple swapping. So good morning to all of you who are joining now. Again let us see this question, very simple question. M-I becomes I-M, N-O becomes O-N and R remains in R. So if you do the same thing with the word sixth, what will be the code? What will be the code for the word sixth? Same thing we do, cross S and I becomes I and S, X and T becomes T and X, and H remains in its position. So yes, as you have got the answer right, Vakar, you have got the answer, Vishaka has done. So the answer is C. Right, now this is a basic example just to understand what do we mean by swapping. We are not shifting the letters forward or backward, and we are not replacing one letter with something else, and we are not using the positional value of letters. What we are doing is we are just swapping, changing the position of letters, keeping the same letters in the word. How can we create newer and better ways of solving and creating questions for you? Okay, so that is the first question, and now we will move to the next question. This one you should try. Let us start here. If the word toy is coded as S-U-N-P-X-Z, then what will be, then for what code, what word do the letters C-E-H-J-D-F stand for? Here the code is given to you and the word you have to find which word it represents, clear? So the word is toy and its code is S-U-N-P-X-Z. थोड़ा अलग क्वेश्चन ही है पिछले वाले से, आप गौर से देखिए, try to understand, and I am sure you will be able to find out the answer. You know, just how your presence of mind and your application of thought, two things are there, presence of mind, being calm and composed while answering questions in the exam, right? So if the word toy, T-O-Y, is coded as S-U-N-P-X-Z, then what word do the letters C-H-J-D-F stand for, right? So let us look at this word here, toy, T-O-Y. Three letters are there. How many letters are there? Three letters. And the code word, what is the code word here? S-U-N-P-X-Z. There are 6 letters. So something different is there. We are using a different way. It's a little not exactly, you can say, swapping, but maybe just understanding the positions and the word relations, right? Okay. So what we are doing is here, you see what comes before T, S comes, and what comes after T, U comes. So we are changing the word here T with the letter before and after. Same thing we do with O also, letter before N, O, P, and same thing with Y, X, Y, Z. right. So that's what we are doing here, changing the word into something else. And so here we have C H J J C A E H J D F. So what comes between C and E? C and E, basic D comes, right. What comes between H and J? H I J. Right, again you see, very different question, right. And what comes between D and F? E comes. So the answer is die. Yes, Vakar has got it right. Very good, Vakar. So the answer is die. That is answer option C, right. So you see different ways, yeah, how to create complexity. That is the focus. What the paper setter is thinking is, students have already seen various types of questions before, right. They are looking for the same types of question in the coming exam. So what should I do to just confuse them? They are looking for गुगली. जैसे क्रिकेट में होता है गुगली, आप लेफ्ट स्पिन खेलने के लिए तैयार कर रहे हैं, आपको बॉल आ गया राइट स्पिन या स्ट्रेट डिलीवरी आ गया. तो एग्जाम में भी गुगली की तैयारी करते हैं. जो क्वेश्चन बनाते हैं वो उनका मेन पर्पस होता है हाउ टू जस्ट कंफ्यूज द स्टूडेंट, राइट. तो अभी विल सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज द third question. Okay, so I am sure now you know how to solve. Just try quickly this question. The beginning of the class, let's be a little fast. Just wake up early in the morning and understand the question. See how fast your mind is working, yeah, and application of your thought. So here we have again a code word given to you. This is the code and this is the word. So what will be the code for IJF? What does it stand for? What will be the answer? Observe the code here. T U P Q V W S T, and the code word, what is the word it stands? This is the code and this is the word here, sour, SOUR. You can see it's very similar to the previous question, right. What comes between see TU, the letter which comes before TU, S. So you see STU, right. Now next we have the two letters here, PQ. PQ, what comes before PQ? OPQ. VW, what comes before VW? UVW. ST, what comes before ST? R comes before ST. That is how we get the word here, SOUR, sour. So if you take the code here, I, J, F, G, B, C, S, T, what will be the answer? So look at the first one here, IJ, what comes before IJ? H. You see we have HIJ, EFG, ABC and RST. So the answer is the word here, that is answer option B. So understanding the question, see how the question has been created, previous question, this question, what is the difference, right, and then think what else could happen in the examination. So when you see in the examination that number of letters in the word is less than the number of letters in the code word for that, this is one of the things that should come in your mind, that maybe this technique could have been used, right. That is how we become an expert, when we start understanding different types of questions and we start reading the mind of the question paper setter, right. So we have to be ahead of them. That is how you can succeed in a time bound exam, particularly when you talk about IBPS prelims, PO, for PO, right. There is just 60 minutes you have for 100 questions, 20 minutes for reasoning section, 35 questions, 20 minutes, what you are going to do? You see, understand, it is like a T20 match, faster than that also, just 20 minutes and 35 questions. You have to be at the best of your game, Okay. Now let us look at the next question here. This is purely based on swapping. So just observe here the example. What is the example saying? If silkworm is coded as SLIOKWMR, then how is baseball coded in the same way? Right, quickly. Now this question should be solved very quickly, not spending too much time. Quick observation. Solving is not always the main key. The key in the banking exams is also very important, is the speed, right. So there are 35 questions, some of them 5 to 6 questions can be basic ones. Now in those questions, does not mean that we will start solving them slowly. We have to gain time from those questions to then spend that extra time in the advanced questions which are more complex. So let us see what is the answer for this question. If silkworm is coded as SLIOKWMR, then how is baseball? Now let us see, let us look at the screen here, you will understand how the coding is done. So swapping is done here, but a little different way. So S comes down as S and I and L are interchanged, as you can see very clearly here, it becomes L and I. So K, W and O, you see K, W and O, the way of changing them is different. O comes down this side and both of these letters come on the right, clear. And then R and M, again we are swapping. So look at this swapping technique, and then you try to solve the same way for the word baseball. B, A, S, E, B, A, L, L. See the same number of letters are there, 4, 4, 8. So first one will come down as it is, that is B. A and S we are going to swap them, that is S, A. Now E, B, A, how will we swap? Just observe how this swapping has been done here. A will come down this side, whereas E and B both will go parallel, and we will get here E and B. And then L, L will anyhow be same, because even if you interchange them, they remain L and L. So B, S, A, A, E, B, L, L. So where is that answer? B, S, A, A, B, S, A, A, E, B, L, L. B, S, A, A, E, B, L, L. That is your answer. So answer is C. Yes, Vishaka, the answer is C. Nikita also has got C as the answer. So very good. Now you understand here, small changes we have to see. Just because I and L are being swapped does not mean every time the same thing is happening. Observe carefully, there could be a minor change also after solving the question. What is very important, you spend that 5 seconds, but you observe the options. Options can also be something. Now when we create options, what are we thinking? Again we are thinking how to confuse students into marking the wrong answer, because once you mark the wrong answer, you get -1/4, right. Okay. So that is the example for coding by swapping. Now is the time to discuss the question from previous day's contest time, right. Yesterday we had given this question to you in the contest, that if monkey is coded as 465257, then what will be the code for tiger? Some of you had got the answer right, and then some of you had got it wrong, right. If you were asking about what is the answer, iska solution kya hai. So let us see here the letter monkey. What is M's position in the English alphabet, right? What is the position of M? Now yesterday I had discussed the technique called BJOT, and in which B is 2 and E is 5, J is 10, O is 15, T is 20 and Y is 25. So O is 15, N is 14, M is 13. So we should be able to tell the positional value of M within a second, that is 13. So here we do not have 13, what do we have here? 4. So how can we make 13 into 4? We can add the digits 1 and 3 and the answer becomes 4, clear. Same thing we have done for O also. You know O is 15, and if you add 1 and 5, that becomes 6. That is how we get the next letter 6. We got 4, we got 6. Now N is 14 n is 14, adding the digits 1 and 4, we will get 5. So, that is the third letter, third number, 5. Now, k, j is 10, k is 11. So, adding the digits of k, 1 plus 1, that is 2, that is how we get 2. Now, E is the fifth letter itself, E is the fifth letter, so no addition, no adding of digits here, directly we take 5, and Y is the 25th letter, so 2 plus 5, that is equal to 7. That is how we get the last one, 7. So, the same thing you do with the word tiger, the answer will be C, 29759, T is 20, 2 plus 0 is 2, I is 9, G is the 7th letter, E is the 5th letter, and R is 18th, 1 plus 8 is 9. Now, another way of looking at the same question, in maybe you can understand this also, this is cyclical letters. So, we should know the cyclical approach of letters. Write down numbers 1, 2, so maybe in some other question that this could be used, okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and start writing the letters in the English alphabet starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then J we start back from here, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and again we will go back to S here, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So, this is also the same thing, you can solve this. If you look at M, where is M? In the 4th place, right. Where is O? O is in the 6th place, you can see here 6. Where is N? So, N is in the 5th place. This is also cyclical way of solving questions. So, if you see the same thing, digits also, we are getting 1 plus 3, 4, M is in the 4th position, clear. So, when you add the digits of the positional value of letters, the sum of digits will be from 1 to 9, and we can use this cyclical approach for solving questions, right. So, some questions can be created based on this cyclical approach, right. Now, here Mishra is saying, sir, can we do this? Yes, you can do in this case, but it will be risky because you are then assuming that there are number of digits here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are same as M, O, N, K, E, Y. Also, the thing that you should keep in mind is that there will be another answer option in the exam, that is none of these. Now, how do we know that the answer is not none of these, right? So, in the contest question I have given you only 4 answer options, but in the exam you can have one more answer option, none of these. So, that is why we should always know the right way of solving the question. It is not a very time taking question. If we know the technique, this question will not take more than 10-15 seconds for a student who is well prepared to solve in the examination. So, I hope I have answered the doubt that Mishra has asked, okay. Now, today's contest question now, and the question is there on the screen for you. If October is coded as ROECBTO, then January is coded as. There are 4 answer options in front of you. To start solving, within 40-60 seconds solve and post the answer, only the option, you post the option as a comment, and we will see who has solved the question first and right. The winner will get an atom session through which they can ask doubts by connecting to any faculty across the country, right. So, start solving now. Observe the way the word and code relate based on what already I have discussed in this session till now. Careful observation will definitely get you the answer. Alright, so now the time is up. Let us move on to the next question, and I will discuss the answer for this contest question in my next session of coding and decoding, okay. And whoever is the winner who has got the answer right will be informed, and he will be getting an atom session with which he can ask any question, one question is a doubt by connecting to any faculty. Okay. Alright, let us move on and start with our example number 5. If the code for master MASTER is RATSEM, RATSEM, and student is coded as TNUDETS, then how will principal be coded? Now try solving this question. Already some basic questions on swapping we have seen. What could be there in this question? Observe carefully, and I am sure you will be getting the answer. So what is the answer? If master is coded as RATSEM, RATSEM, and students, I have given you two examples here, student is coded as TNUDETS. So two words are there and their respective codes. So based on that, you have to find out what will be the code for principal. I have not given the answer option, so sorry. Observe carefully how the words have been changed. It is very clear that this is swapping. This is a question based on swapping. How do we know that? We know that it is a question of swapping because the same letters are there, every letter is same, only the position has changed. Clear? So let us look at the way this question should be solved. If you look at the word master, and the word RATSEM, you will observe that the position of vowels is same in both the word and the code. So A and E are not changing. What is happening with MSTR? See here, MSTR becomes RTSM. RTSM. That means we are reversing the consonants. Consonants reversed. Consonants are reversed, and vowels remain unchanged. Vowels remain unchanged. The position of vowels remains unchanged and consonants are reversed. Same thing can you see in this also, student. So two examples are given so that it becomes 100% what is the coding used, what is the coding technique used, and leaves no doubt, right? Because only if one is example is given, sometimes there can be confusion about whether this has been done or that has been done. Okay, so we don't want that confusion. So often in swapping questions, sometimes two examples are given. So let's look at the word principal. So what will happen if we use the same approach with the word principal? First of all, let us write down the vowels as it is, because vowels remain unchanged. I remains here and this I also remains here, and this A comes down also in the same place. Now the last consonant L, P, C, N, R, P, so we have to bring them down. First will be L, next P, followed by C, followed by N, followed by R, and last position will be of P. So this will be your answer, L, P, I, C, N, I, R, A, P, L, P, I, C, N, I, R, A, P, because the vowels remain unchanged and the consonants are reversed. Please understand, this is the swapping question where vowels remain unchanged and consonants are swapped. But how do we swap the consonants? By reversing the position. उनको उल्टा लिख देना है, जो order है MSTR उसको RTSM कर देना है, right? and to observe that and to make sure that this exactly is the technique used, 2 examples are given. So that leaves no room for doubt. Okay. So we have seen example number 5. Let's move on to the next example. So here in this particular code, the word September is coded as RBEEPMETS and December is coded as REMBCEED. Then how will October be coded in that code language? Observe here that in the code language, what is the coding for September? Number of letters, observe the number of letters. And what is the code for December? REMBCEED. And then based on that, find out what will be the code for October. How will October be coded? Try out, observe carefully. Take a pen and paper, work it out, see if you can find out the solution. For the letters are same. Just observe here, same number of letters and the letters are also same. So there is no change in letters. So obviously this is swapping has been done, but also observe here, this is a coding by analogy. So what is the change here compared to the previous question? That is very crucial to understand. Analogy means what? Analogy means that a regular order has not been used, a different order has been used, a particular method has been used, and you have to just look at that method, find out a certain what method has been used, and then using that you must then exactly use the same technique for finding out the answer, right. That is why there are 2 examples. Normally in analogy 2 examples are given. 2 examples means September is given to you and December is also given to you. Compare it with the previous questions we have done in coding and decoding, you will see that only one example used to be there. If monkey is coded as this, then tiger will be coded as what. But here we have 3 examples. This is normal method for any kind of question on analogy. So if you see here, let's observe carefully what is happening, that first count here the number of letters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 letters are there in the name of the month September. Now do you see here that September is also the 9th month of the year? So this is also trivia for you. The 9th month of the year has 9 letters, no other month in the year has 9 letters, right. That is something that you can remember as a trivia, that the month, only month which contains 9 letters in its name is September, which also happens to be the 9th month of our calendar. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 September. Now you see what is happening, just observe carefully the way. So we have 2, we have 3, 5 and 7. What are 2, 3, 5, 7? Can anyone tell me quickly what are 2, 3, 5, 7? These are prime numbers, right. What type of numbers? Prime numbers. If you look at the first 10 numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7 are prime numbers. Clear? So I have used here prime numbers to code and create the code for this word September. How it is happening? Just observe. So 2, 3, 5 and 7. What have I done? E, P, E, B, E, P, E, B. The second letter, the third letter, the fifth letter and the seventh letter have been reversed. So what we are doing? Reversing the letters in the prime position, you get B, E, P, E. Okay. So first I am reversing the letters which are only in the prime positions, the second, third, fifth and seventh, followed by the other letters in reverse order. So first R comes in the first position. Just observe here how the letters are changing the position on the screen. The last letter now comes here. So reverse the prime letters separately and the other letters separately, S. Now next what will come here? The 8th letter, E. The 8th letter comes here, 9th, then 8th. Then what is here? 6th. Non-prime letters I am taking, 6th. Remains in the same position. Correct? Then which is the next letter? 4th. Non-prime letter, 4th. That will come in this position, in the 8th position. And finally, what will come here? S comes in the last position. So we are reversing the primes separately. It is not direct reversing. It is reversing the prime separately and the non-prime separately. Same thing if we do with the word October. Here we have 2, 3, 5, 7. Now I am not working out for December because it is already understood that December is REMBCEED. It is already given to you. 2 examples are given so that you can find out that this is the technique. In analogy question, that is why we give 2 examples. Sorry. So 1, 2, we have 7 letters in the word October. What should we do first? What will be the first step? See, the first step is always to reverse the prime numbers. Reverse the prime numbers. Let us do it. R, B, T, C. You can see R, B, T, C. The 2nd, 3rd, 5th and 7th I have put them in the reverse order. Clear? Now the other letters E, O, O. E, O, O will reverse here, E, O, O. So what is the answer? E, R, B, O, T, O, C. This is the answer. How will October be coded? October will be coded as E, R, B, O, T, O, C. So you can see how we have created a complex question by just using something new, something that has not come before. Has this question come before? No, never, in not even one examination. Can you find it anywhere else, any book, any website? Not at all. This is a unique question created just for you. Please understand, this is just for you. The new way of working out question using prime numbers and reversing prime numbers separately, non-prime numbers separately, to create the difficulty level, to increase the difficulty level so that you are prepared for the future difficulty level that can come in the examination. This is what is the purpose of watching these classes, right? Not to just keep solving what has been coming before, but to see what can come in the future. Okay, all right. So I hope this question is clear to all of you. Next we will go to the next question here, coding by analogy. So again I have given here 2 examples. In a certain code language, plethora is written as JVRAETON, right? Plethora. What is the meaning of this word plethora? Does anyone know here? A little bit of vocabulary for you. What is the meaning? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone post the meaning? Comment here the meaning. Comment here the meaning of the word plethora. I want to see how is your vocabulary. Vishakha, Nikita, Misha, can you find out, tell me the meaning of the word plethora. How many of you have now been preparing vocabulary? You know, in your exam English also comes, vocabulary also comes. I want to see, does anyone know? Okay, plethora means many. Difference is there, many is an adjective, plethora is a noun. So we say there are a plethora of opportunities in India. There are a plethora of opportunities in India. That means there are many opportunities in India. Okay, that was a vocabulary tip for you. Now we will look at the word here. Plethora is written as JVRAETON. Plethora is written as JVRAETON and multiple is written as KVOENNRU. हो क्या रहा है इस क्वेश्चन में? एग्जाम है, प्रेशर है, सिर्फ 40 सेकंड है, राइट? उसके लिए आपको तैयारी करनी है. Can you solve complex questions within 40 seconds without panicking in the examination? Simple shifting questions everyone knows, right? Simple letter positions in most books you will find, right? but if you scan the entire web space, the entire internet and every possible book that is printed in India, you will not find this example anywhere. Plethora does not mean array, plethora means many. Okay, so I can see someone Mishra posted here that plethora means array, plethora means many. There are a plethora of reasons. Okay, coming back to the question here first. Okay, so this is a unique question coming first time online for you, right? So can anyone try and solve this question? In a certain code language, plethora is written as JVRAETON and multiple is written as KVOENNRU. Remember, this is a question of analogy. Analogy means what? Comparison, compare. Compare the two words and their codes and find out a common logic in them. It could be a random logic, right? Random way of shifting letters, random way of swapping letters, but it will be common in both the examples. That is why two examples, example 1, example 2. Why two examples are given? Why are we not giving one example? Because if I give a random logic, how will student solve? So if a random logic or a different type of method is used, which is not conventional, then two examples are required. Otherwise students will debate that why is this not the answer? This could also be a case, no. But when two examples are there, then the case is firmly established. Case close हो जाता है वहाँ पे. अब जो है क्वेश्चन जो है करेक्ट है, क्योंकि दो एग्जाम्पल्स है और कोई डिबेट की जगह नहीं है कि ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो सकता, राइट? अगर एक ही एग्जाम्पल होगा और कोई रैंडम मेथड यूज किया जाएगा तो स्टूडेंट्स वहाँ पूछ सकते हैं कि सिर्फ यही क्यों, इसके अलावा भी तो हो सकता है दूसरा मेथड, राइट? बट यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है, सिर्फ एक ही मेथड है और वो तभी आपको मिलेगा जब आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे. व्हेन यू ऑब्जर्व एंड मेक श्योर दैट you find out that unique way of coding. So चलो देखते हैं क्या हो क्या रहा है. चलो प्लेथोरा लिख लिया पहले. All the letters are there, PLETHORA. और अभी देखो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. P कहाँ गया? जो फर्स्ट नंबर था, फर्स्ट लेटर, वो थर्ड पोजीशन पे आ गया. क्लियर? अभी कोड नहीं आया है, सिर्फ लेटर आया है. ठीक है, डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन है बट एग्जाम में डिफिकल्ट भी आ सकते हैं, राइट? तो फर्स्ट लेटर जो है वो थर्ड पोजीशन में आ गया और जो सेकंड लेटर था वो लास्ट पोजीशन में चला गया, राइट? तो 3, 3, 6 to 8, 8th पोजीशन में चला गया. ये सारे 8 लेटर वर्ड्स है, आप देख लो. प्लेथोरा भी 8 लेटर्स है, मल्टीपल भी 8 लेटर वर्ड है और अबंडेंट भी 8 लेटर वर्ड है. तो इस तरह का रैंडम लॉजिक लगाएंगे तो नंबर ऑफ लेटर्स सेम होना ही चाहिए. पिछले केस में ऐसा नहीं था. सितंबर में 9 लेटर्स था जबकि अक्टूबर में 7, तो वो अलाउड था क्योंकि एक ट्रेडिशनल वे यूज किया गया था. यहाँ पे थोड़ा अलग है. फर्स्ट लेटर थर्ड पोजीशन पे आ गया, सेकंड लेटर लास्ट पोजीशन में चला गया. अब क्या हो रहा है? अब नेक्स्ट क्या हो रहा है? RO. अभी यहाँ सिंपल था, ये वाला सिंपल था, राइट? RO बन गया OR. अब क्या होगा वो भी देखिए, गौर से देखिए. TH जो है वो इंटरचेंज हो गया, HT बन गया, लेकिन आ गया फर्स्ट और सेकंड पोजीशन में. अब सिर्फ बीच में दो पोजीशन है, फोर्थ और फिफ्थ. ये दो पोजीशन जो है वेकेंट है. यहाँ क्या आएगा? यहाँ आ जाएगा A जो है कि है आपका लास्ट लेटर और E जो कि है आपका थर्ड लेटर. So see how it is happening. Now I could have given just this as a question, that if plethora is HTPAEROL, then abundant will be what? That could also be a question. Now Mr. is asking how P is in the third position. See, there is no how here. Two examples I have given. I have given two examples. Observe both the examples and see whether the same shifting is happening or not. Right? ऐसा how वाला question होता तो सब बना लेते, right? अभी यहाँ HTPAEROL आ गया है, उनको अभी 2 पोजीशन शिफ्ट कर देंगे. स्वैपिंग एंड शिफ्टिंग इन अ रैंडम वे. HIJ TUV PQR, you see, A remains as A, E remains as E, O remains as O. Again I like using vowels and consonants separately. So in my questions you will see sometimes I treat vowels separately, consonants separately. So vowels I don't like touching them. vowel remain unchanged, but after what? After the change in position. Vowels remain unchanged after the change in position. Okay, so now you see here same thing will do with abundant, and you can do the same table with multiple also. Multiple also you can try out the same table with multiple. Okay, is that clear? Just try it out, you will get the same answer. Write down multiple in the way I have written plethora and I have done the shifting. Use the same shifting approach. Now just observe how we are doing abundant. So first letter came here, Mishra, please observe here, and others also. The first one came in the third position, so here also A will come in the third position. You see, B will come in the last position. Same happening, that is why it is called analogy. Compare. Here what happened then? AN became NA, okay, and ND will go in the first position, will become DN. See, same thing, right? And finally T comes here, this last one comes here, and this third one comes here, U. Okay, see, so DNA, DNA, T, U, N, A, B. This is the answer. This is the answer. That is how you are supposed to done. So that is the last question for today. So now there is this is the time for CPP, class practice pack, right? So we have selected the best question for you from analogy and swapping, right, so that you can try the same methods that I have used in solving the questions in the video to practice them in the CPP. When you hear the sound, those who are passport members can immediately begin solving the CPP and post your answers. The most difficult questions, the one that students get wrong, I will discuss in my next live session on coding and decoding. So best of luck to you. Start solving now.